Hello, hello, hello. Testing, testing. Welcome, 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 everybody. Ben, hope you're well, brother. Good to see you in the chat nice and early. Alright, let's kill this music a little bit before I forget. And as always, guys, good morning, good afternoon, very, very good evening, wherever you are around this world. Hope you're all doing well. First of the new month, 1st of October. So let's see if we can start off in a better fashion than what we started last month. But last month ended up being, again, a very good month off the back of the second half of the month. Really solid second half of the month. Only took one loss and 9 wins and a few break evens in it amongst the second half of the month. So it was a really good comeback and ended the month safely in some nice profits. So I hope you all had a good month as well. As always, guys, don't forget, please hit the like button. Don't be shy to say good day. Share the love, spread the love. I need you guys to help me out in the chat, so don't be shy. As always, we'll be looking at GJ Gold, have a look at G-CAD, probably have a look at GU at some time EU, and as per the request of you guys in the chat. But anyway, guys, let's have a look quickly at the news. So obviously there was some high impact news overnight with the Fed Chair Powell speaking. All I know of what he said was apparently they're not in a hurry to continue to cut rates anytime soon. So maybe off the back of that, hence why gold did close another pretty strong bearish daily candle. Bit of strength maybe in the US dollar. But moving forward today, nonetheless, we can see bank holiday in China. Anyone who's interested. So we've got some high impact news to come for the euro. That is a little bit later on. Won't be on stream for that. And also we've got some high impact news coming out of the US with JOLTS openings and manufacturing PMI. So big day ahead once again. It's a big week for the US dollar. Big week in the news in general. So we just need to be obviously wary of that, guys. And yeah, let's have a good one. Without further ado, let's get stuck into the analysis. And as always, let's start with having a look at good old GJ. So let's have a look at the weekly, and we've pulled back quite significantly now into that previous weekly candle. I don't feel we necessarily needed to pull back all that far if we were to continue bearish. So we're gonna have to see what else we've got on once we go down to the other time frames to suggest that we may continue to perhaps towards the high of that previous weekly candle. So off the back of that previous weekly, it was a bearish candle though. We do have a lower high, lower low, but as I mentioned, we're pulling back quite significantly into that previous weekly candle as of now. Kind of bouncing off a support here to the left, and we're trying to pop back above the resistance. Looking at on the daily, so this gives me decent reasons to look for that, but maybe a continuation play for a buy. Based off the fact that you got a daily candle closing quite strong bullish. Now closed probably around the 50% of that previous weekly candle. Let's just mark in the fib just below it. But what we can see is we're now popping back around that level. If you were to mark it from the open to the close, we're closed around the 50%. So quite a lot of strength in this current pullback. The momentum appears to be still with GJ to the upside at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark in the current daily candles low. We're also going to mark in the current daily candles high, and we're going to see what we've got either side of that. Structure wise, we still do remain bearish, however, on the daily time frame. So we've got the daily as bearish, but with counter probabilities to the upside. We've got the weekly bearish, but with counter probabilities as far as the current weekly candle. It is forming a strong bullish candle, but the probabilities candles lower high, lower low still technically to the downside. Now onto the 4 hour. Structure wise, it is still bearish, quite a significant pullback though. But are we just pulling back to create lower high? We are potentially at a level of potential what could act as resistance here to the left, but we did cut through it on the most recent move to the downside, so I'm not overly concerned by it. And we've still got 3 hours of this candle, so we no real sign yet of exhaustion. We have broken the high of the previous candle. If we were to break our own high, what we can see is, and as the current daily candles high, we have some clean traffic to the left hand side of that. That is the current daily candles low. I'm going to see what we've got on the 30-minute blowout. Let's just mark in some levels now on the 4 hour. So we've got the support at the lows. We're far off it. Going to be marking in levels in between, but by the looks of it, same as the resistance. That I'm not even going to bother. We'll just mark in levels on a 30-minute. I'm going to remove that too because we're so far off it. I don't feel it's quite relevant at the moment. We'll worry about it if and when need be. All right, so on to the 30. What we can see is structure wise we are technically bullish. So we've got now a few confluences to look for the buy against the higher time frame direction. We've got the fact that the actual weekly candle itself is forming quite a strong bullish candle. That lines up with resistance here to the left, marking in 30-minute in blue. And we've got also the fact that the daily is high low higher high. We've also got the 30-minute structure bullish. As we can see, we're trending within the current daily candle, trending steady high lows high highs, pullbacks, impulse, pullback, impulse, pullback, another impulse. Are we going to continue that trend now? So for me, what I'll be looking for is definitely buys above the high upon continuation. We're coming towards a higher time of volume. We approach with the right manner. At this rate, we're forming pretty strong bearish. I probably need to see a bullish engulfing candle above it. Further buy options. So I'm just going to mention buy options to begin. We've got buys from support. If we do pull back, form support around at 192.420 to 450 to 192.30, sorry. Then at that point there is a high probability we will continue to the upside. So looking for my catalyst within price action at that point there for a potential buy. Now as far as the sells, well, within the current daily, the most recent support, I'm going to take that back. Within the move to the upside, the most recent support we formed is around this 190 to 40 to 30 sort of level. We start to pop below it, retest it, and begin to pull away from it. At that point there, we're not technically flipping structure. It does resemble a swing, but it's technically not a 2 consecutive candle pullback in the opposite direction to the uptrend. However, we do begin to close below that point there, 192.280. At that point, I would definitely consider a sell option. Now, we'll be cheeky, but this is but. Price is still technically bearish, depending on the weekly. If you're going to consider current weekly as opposed to the previous, we have just formed support up the current daily candles high. Now, in the next 6 minutes, if we were to close bearish engulfing, probably a high possibility that we would make a deeper pullback. The only issue is 15-minute support is a little bit off-putting. Let's just see how it closes. I'm not totally against the sell, but you definitely need to be looking at managing it, and we've probably got about 6-7 pips to that support. By the looks of it, yeah, 6. Once you have the spread, it's gonna be like 4. To be honest, it does look a lot cleaner below that level. If you were to mark it in on the 15-minute time frame, it looks a hell of a lot cleaner below that 192.80. You've got 30, almost 40 pips in a move to the downside. So probably that's what I'll be waiting for. Potential sells below that point there. And I think that is pretty much it on GJ. Yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. We can just see it here, guys. That wick also looks like it's tapped into resistance here to the left. What was the previous high at that point within the current daily candle? Bounced off it. So yeah, I think below that level looks a little bit more appealing in my opinion. Seeing we are trending bullish and there's still momentum, there's nothing really yet to suggest that we're ready to make a deeper pullback. I would feel more comfortable popping below at 15-minute support. So that's likely what I'll be doing for the time being, guys. Hopefully that makes sense. Please give the stream a like. Let me know. Just say yes or no, or Y or N. And let me know, guys, so we can just get the stream, the chat pumping, and get a few more viewers onto the stream. In the meantime, we've got just over 4 minutes to look at gold within the current 30-minute candle. So I'll quickly knock that off. What we're looking at is the weekly. Well, it is forming quite a strong bearish candle at the moment. Looks like it's pulling back a fair bit though just now. Still based off the previous weekly candle at this point, and that is a strong bullish candle. The higher time frames are very bullish. daily structure is bullish, but what we do have is that previous daily closing back yet again. Strong bearish candle. Let's just mark in the current daily candle's low. See what we've got below it. At that point, there's a high probability if we were to flip. There's a high probability we'll be coming back down towards the previous daily candle's low. Onto the 4 hour. Just gonna mark in some zones just here. Tapped that zone here to the left, tapped into the most recent low for yesterday's low. Structure wise, we are actually, well, we still remain bearish on gold on the 4 hour, marking most recent resistance. Go down to the 30-minute, and we are now trying to break out over resistance. So that lines up with this to the left. So I'm going to keep it in as gray. What we can see is structurally, you could argue a flip bullish on the M30. And if that is to be the case, then what we've got now on gold is we've got the bias is back to the upside. Yeah, so the bias is back to the upside. So for me on gold, the next 2 and a bit minutes, bias above that point there could be valid. The issue at the moment is it's not showing a great deal of momentum. To me, it looks like it's exhausting at this point. Prefer a closure above, which it doesn't really look like it's going to do it at this stage. I'm going to remove that horizontal at the current daily low. Below that resistance, we were to reject just now. Like I said, it looks like we are struggling at that resistance. I'd be definitely interested in looking for my sell options. On the right catalyst, now we're potentially going to be forming a support. We're not yet confirmed nothing, but if we do form a support only to start popping back below that range, then that's where I'm going to look to execute a sell in anticipation this range is likely going to hold, and we may have just grabbed some more liquidity from the upside. Within the current range, we've also got some support, most recent support. Just mark that level in. Below that, let's go down to 15. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good for a potential sell below that point there as well. So sells below the support form within the current range are at 26.34 flat. And obviously, if we do pull back only to respect that level, then I'd be looking for the buy options as well. Like I said, you could argue the 30-minute has just recently flipped bullish. So that is gold. Over a minute and a half remaining. Let's look at it. GJ, if you're waiting for that bearish engulfing M30, it's best at this point, in my opinion, just to wait for it to pop below at 15-minute support. So, is there going to be a gold option? So in this situation, when it looks like we're running out of momentum, it's where I probably want to see price pop up to begin the open of the new candle, then pull back, maybe tapping towards the low of this zone, and then if it broke its own high again, by popping back towards the low, tapping into the range below, that would just suggest to me maybe we'll grab a little bit more liquidity before we're ready to head back up. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. Let me know, guys. Please, someone, simple yes or no. It doesn't take that much to type it into the chat. Help me out, guys. Help me out. Hopefully it all makes sense. So let's keep an eye on gold. We will have a look at G-CAD moving forward. Members, I've just shared with you the link if anyone is interested in joining. Alright, so the candle's about to close. Not a convincing closure, and we've popped down. Not liking it, to be honest. GJ, well, it's basically popped straight down. Very difficult to trust that either way. Yeah, there's no way I can trust that just now. Not in the first 15 seconds of the new candle. Of the new hourly as well. How did the hourly close? Let's just look at it. Pretty good closure, actually. Yeah, based off the hourly, it's not too bad at all. But still, I'd rather let it pull back, create more of an upper week. Who we got here today? So Ben, good day to you. Franco, good morning as always. Beats, good morning. Weighing the same with gold. He's around 11 on overnight too. Yeah, I'm surprised nothing happened, to be honest, with with gold. Would have thought that maybe that would have given another impulse to the upside, but obviously not as of yet. So a 15-minute closure above, and I would definitely be interested in buying gold. GJ, just you would have had to trust it in the first 10 seconds. So that's all good. Still be considering it below 15-minute support just here. Carl F, good morning to you. Franco made sense, nice one. Ben, you had a buy overnight, 26.28, 26.38. Before it tapped in and more new stops. W, nice one. Full market close. Nice one, my friend. Got my iced latte. Let's remove trades taken, otherwise everyone's gonna think of taking a trade and they're gonna look over to another stream. Now, some news, guys. Unfortunately, I won't be on stream for a little bit after today. Yeah, I'm heading away for a little bit before I head back home. So I will be still working with the VIP, but I won't be on stream. I don't have the facilities to stream on YouTube. Yeah, look, keep an eye on my. If you're not following me on IG, make sure to follow me on IG for updates. Who knows, we'll see. I might try to organize something to stream from over there, but I don't think it's going to be that simple, but I'll try. I'll give it a go. But nonetheless, I hope that when I come back in a couple of weeks, you guys are still going to be there for me. Tough game is YouTube streaming, but I will be live pretty much just the same with the VIP group, so looking forward to that. Let's quickly look at G-CAD. Seeing gold is, I'm waiting for a 15-minute closure, and likewise on GJ actually. So, but man, that'd be much appreciated. So looking at G-CAD, how long's the journey home? It's not 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks, but it's about 8 hours. But yeah, I'm just taking a bit of a respite and way back with the misses and that. So yeah, looking at G-CAD. So the weekly. Like I mentioned yesterday, there's a good chance that new count would just pop pretty much straight back up, which is pretty much what it's done, but it's now pulling back quite significantly. Daily, it's open with a gap to the upside, so on some brokers that would be a bullish candle. Current daily, we broke below the previous, then there's a good chance we make a deeper pullback. Also back below that resistance. Structure wise, it is bullish. The 4 hour approaching a very big mess of a level of support. Just going to mark in the most recent resistance. Structure wise, it is bullish, so the bias is bullish. 30-minute is technically bearish, so it's just rejecting a resistance. Bit of a tough one on G-CAD. Sells below the support 180, 585. Not a great deal of margin, so it just depends when candles close below it. So what I'd be looking for is just preference is for the price to come lower down. It could pull up a little bit higher up though, around at 180.70. Form a support, provide my price action catalyst, and then look for a potential buy option from lower down. So that's what I would be looking at. And further buys not above the high, you've got some resistance. It's going to be difficult. So sells upon another pullback to the resistance is also what I'd be looking at. So guys, G-CAD's just one I keep a bit of an eye on. It's not like I focus on it, but if gold and GJ are totally non-radar and G-CAD looks all right, it's probably the only other pair that I would trade. All right, so GJ pulling back up, it's tapping into that 15-minute support and bouncing off it just now. So that was my slight concern. So we're going to focus on gold. Keep it on gold for the time being. We want to see a 15-minute closure above. Edwin, you're in a GN cell. Alright, I hope you're in from higher up. It's looking really good if you are. Yeah, if you're in from up near these highs, fantastic. Don't be greedy because you got some support fast approaching. So nice one, just manage it. And look at GJ bouncing again. Like I said, guys, it's in an uptrend too right now, so risky selling it unless you really have to clean traffic to the left. So could this just now be pulling back to create another higher low or equal low for us to continue, grab some liquidity for us to continue to the upside once we can break above the current daily candles high? Everyone, no worries, mate. Anyone else currently running any trades? How did yesterday go, guys? For me, it was just that one trade on stream, break even on GJ. So some of the members did pretty well yesterday. A few of them had some nice wins. It's always good to see. Skull rejecting, so bearish engulfing M30, but I want it below that resistance. Really love it to actually end up closing back below it. Alrighty, guys, let's focus on gold at the moment. We're breaking a daily high again, or about to. Alright, this is looking good. This is looking better. Pause. We could have the pause play, the limit order play present at the same time for a potential buy. So where we need to close in the next 4 minutes, around at 26.45.23. 26.45 would tick the box for a potential limit order buy back in the bearish candle. That would be significantly engulfing that bearish candle, and that what that would suggest is, to me, we're in a bit of an uptrend right now. We're within the current daily candle. Not only that, we've created a pause and it happens to be at resistance. And this candle, if it was to close sufficiently above engulfing, that would suggest wiped out those sellers. And there's a good chance with the momentum of the volume on the new candle, if we did pull back, tap into the high of that bearish candle, there's a good chance we could reject it and begin to head back up. And that would be a potential entry option. But it has to close at that level there. So far it's rejecting just now. And for continuation buys, it doesn't necessarily need to close that high, but I want it to close engulfing. Otherwise, it still suggests that we're struggling at this resistance. I need to see a strong catalyst right now. So that is what would suffice. I want to see, for an option, I want to see it close above that point there. And for the limit, that's for the continuation buys, and for the limit order buys, has to close above 26.45.23. Next 2 minutes and 15 seconds. As you guys can see, it's just these are the rules for me. These are the rules that work. I won't be swayed by anything in between. That's what I need to present right now. No if, but, buts, or maybes. Black and white, that's all it is. It's my plan, it's my rules, it's what works, so what I do. Quickly onto GJ, bouncing off that support again, spot on for levels, absolutely spot on so far. Alrighty guys, let's see, we've got 1 minute remaining. It's just below where we want it to be. Alright, once again, this is suggesting to me that we are potentially exhausting at the resistance, so it's not going to close where I want it to close. So it means I need to wait. Now on the flip side, if this next M15 was closed bearish engulfing, once again I prefer it below that resistance, but if it did close bearish engulfing, I'm going to close the M30 back bearish with a long wick into that range above, only to reject, and that could be a catalyst in itself to look for a potential sell. So there's still going to be options both to the upside and downside from the current level. The interruption slash limit order is still valid if we close where I've got that horizontal marked in. Quickly onto GJ, and look at that, bounced off that level, absolutely spot on. Right now though, we're right back in the consolidation, so if we start to pop above that level, above the daily high, what this suggests is we'll just create that pullback, grab a little bit more liquidity, and there's a high probability if we begin to break that we will make another move to the upside. Just where we're coming from just now though, definitely need closures right up near the high. of this 15/M30, and then I would consider an entry. Stop loss would have to be though based off likely M15, unless you're willing to go for a really wide stop loss, small lot size, so on and so forth. Luke, good day to you, mate. Hope you're well. Welcome. Always, guys, feel free to ask questions. All right, if anyone would like me to analyze GU, well, what can we do? Let's type 1 in the chat. I need at least 5 ones, and I'll have a look at GU. Waiting on gold. Waiting to see how this 30 closes. We've got 12 minutes to wait. Plenty of time. And GJ as well. Waiting to see how the candle closes. 2 more ones, and I'll have a look at GU. Need 1 more. Alright, we got it. Nice one. Way to wake you guys up. So let's have a look at GU. We're starting weekly. All right, so still based off the previous weekly. The current candle is just an inside bar candle. We're very early into the new weekly candle still. It is a bullish candle. I'd call it a weak bullish candle. Has quite a long wick in either direction. As we can see, we've approached the high so far, and we have rejected. So we remain below the highest point. We also obviously remain above the lowest point. So weak bullish based off that previous weekly candle. Just look at it to the left. Looks like maybe it's tapping into this previous support and rejecting it. Also a psychological round number, 134 flat could be where it's having a bit of problems. Onto the daily time frame. We can see yesterday's candle closed back a very weak bullish candle, pretty much at its open. Once again below that 134 flat level. Rejecting this resistance to the upside, but structurally we do remain bullish. However, based off that rejection, that previous candle, and that fact that it closed a very weak candle, weak bullish, if we were to begin to break it, I feel it's a high probability it could potentially be coming back down towards 133.20, but bullish otherwise in structure. Onto the 4-hour time frame. We were marking the lowest point in that previous daily low. Structure wise, it actually remains bullish. This is the impulse to the upside from, this is the origin, this swing point here. We've broken above, but we're not closed above, or have we come back down, or even attempted to get near the low at this point of the origin. So it's structurally bullish on the 4-hour time frame. As far as resistance, I'm just going to mark in the most recent. I know we've got levels just above it, but I'm not so bothered by it. Support, I'll mark in to the downside. So we are bullish on the 4-hour. Once again, bullish on the daily. And that weekly candle is also a bullish candle. So based off that, the bias is technically to the upside. However, the 30-minute is also still bullish, still respecting the swing point here, where on a closure below it would flip, and that lines up that previous daily low. All right, so gonna keep that level in, and if you were to drag it across, it lines up with support here, so it's relevant. I'll just drag it to that bearish candle. All right, so sells below that point there. That point there, you're going to have the structure flipping bearish on the M30. So you want to see a closure blow on the M30, price to reject that zone and continue to downside. There is a bit of support here, but you could probably start managing it so it taps into that. And with the volume, with the momentum, with daily counter probabilities on his side, I feel it still is a good option to look for a sell below that point there. Aside from that, like I mentioned, still technically bullish, and the bias is bullish. So if we did come back down, as we can see, we're tapping into some support just here to the left and bouncing off it. To be honest, I prefer it to pull back a little bit further just to give you more margin, but I'd be looking for the buys back above that level of support as well. Now, as far as the sell options, so it's going to be difficult buying it above, likely not going to have the margin. Oh, look, there could be buys above this point. Not much of a zone. Buys above 133.90 roughly. Is not much of a zone at all. But it's a resistance form within a current daily candle. So if we were to continue bearish in line with the actual direction of the current daily candle, then there would not really need to pull to break above a resistance form within it. If we do so, we'll likely hang back up to the next level. So that gives me the reason to look for a buy above that point there. Now, otherwise, I'd be looking for, probably just drag this down. I'd be looking for the sells upon another pullback. Does reject, just train the range, looking for the sells below, as long as you have the margin. Preferably make a clean move up, only to reject. And obviously sells from higher up. If we do reject that 4-hour resistance. That is pretty much it on GU. Hopefully that made sense. BJ. Alright, so let's focus on gold again. Okay, have you got a chart? Yeah, so you got buys from the same level. Sells from that level as well. Yeah, similar. I've got a few levels in between. Yeah, fair enough. Beats Voyager, much more profitable. Thank you for that. I really like your streams. Clear explanations. Not a problem, my friend. Appreciate it. Yeah, like I mentioned, unfortunately, I'm be off for a couple of weeks, but don't forget about me, guys. I will be back. We'll be back soon. And if anyone is interested, no pressure at all, but if anyone is interested, I will be still live with the VIP. So got a laptop, and that's what I'll be using to stream with the VIP. So yeah, discount code into the top of the chat, link for the VIP down below. So it's good value there. I think it ends up being like 30, 35 a month. And that includes all the course content and all the other educational content. So there's like over 90 videos right now of educational content, including a full course. So it's all in there. Had a good session yesterday, educational session. Spoke a bit about what the story behind candles, what they suggest and could potentially lead to. But as I mentioned in that session yesterday, we can't always, yes, we can try to predict, but we cannot react unless we have our catalyst. It all comes down to having our catalyst, our signal. So irrespective of what the stories, the candles are telling us, if we have a signal, we cannot enter a trade. So right now, this is suggesting to me that maybe at this level of liquidity, we're grabbing some more liquidity to head back up. But for my confirmation, I need that closure above. Without it, I'm not going to just take a buy in anticipation that, right, we're likely going to bounce off this level. So I might as well just buy it. I need to wait for my signal within price action. Signal always is the number one at your chosen level. So gold looking good. Gold looking very good. For both the continuation buy and the potential limit order. For a limit order, we need price to close above this point here at 26.45.23. For the continuation buy, just a nice strong counter closure above would suffice. So keep an eye on gold, guys. Now the beauty of the limit order is you get better stop losses. So for instance, if that's the entry, what would the stop loss be based off the 15? That bearish candle itself. About 22 pips. To be honest, I'd probably just drag it to below that resistance and just managing it based off the candles above it, obviously. The current 2 bullish candles. You could always adjust your stop loss based off those candles. So we gotta wait 3 and a bit minutes, guys. Looking for potential gold buys. Yeah, definitely focused on gold. Let's just keep on that for the time being. Now, for those who are interested in a limit order, if it does close above this horizontal on IC markets, you'd be looking at an entry around 26.44.38. Let's see. Don't want it to completely fly in the next two minutes. Under a minute and a half, guys. Just need to wait patiently for this candle to close, and we could be looking at gold buys very shortly. We look at the hourly. Hourly's looking pretty good. Got a catalyst on the hourly for the potential impulse. So I would trust it if it breaks zone high yet again. So this rate looks like it could be the continuation buy that we're looking at. Probably not going to close strong enough above that wick of that bearish candle at the moment. Oof. Wanted to close a little bit stronger than this. We don't want to pull back to the high of that resistance. See, 30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds. Above the high on IC markets, you'd be looking at around 75, 26.45, 75. All right, so that's what we're looking at. Potential buys above, want a low wick. Now, if we tapped into that zone, not just yet, I need it to create a low wick. I would love for it to tap into this zone as well. I'm not FOMOing into this. I am waiting for a wick on to the downside. If I don't get it, I'm just gonna let it go. GJ closed. Ooh. Approaching a high. GJ is not looking that bad as well. Alright, this is better on gold. Wanted to tap into that zone. Oh, GJ is looking threatening, guys. GJ does look pretty good too. Alright, I'm looking for the buy on gold. We have pulled back to create a low wick. $75. Top loss is below the previous M30. That's what I'm currently looking at. DJ, yeah. I'm gonna take gold, but GJ doesn't look bad too for an impulse entry, guys. You've grabbed liquidity within that support, 15-minute support. You're trending to the upside, about to break the high. Normally in this circumstance, though, off the back of that previous candle, or the alley, that was the alley. Would have preferred for that to close just a tad higher up. Anyway, let's watch gold. Now the other option is if we don't get triggered in, but it does close 8 pips above the high of that bearish candle, then I'm going to look for the limit order. I'm talking about this 15-minute candle. Still could potentially get the option for the limit order. Now this could present on a what the entry I call a delayed breakout. So it's literally just broken and it's now pulled back. You've got a resistance forming on the 1 minute. The preference in a delayed breakout is for accounts closed bullish above, accounts closed back bearish just above the resistance, and then the continuation buy. It's just a little bit too low down for that. All good, no rush. Oh, GJ's just popped up by the looks of it. Alright, let's focus. Looks like we may be getting, well, I might be triggered in. I get triggered in shortly. And this is all good because we're not in just yet. Even if it come back down to retest this zone finally and bounce off it, even better. So it's always going to be a slight concern, the fact that we have not yet pulled back to tap back into it, not even on the 5 minute. Let's see. And there's the good thing about this, there is ways to manage it if you do get triggered in. Manage it based off the entry candle. We'll see if we get triggered in. 8 minutes left. And if not, and it closes pretty much where it's at, I'm going to set the limit order back on the high of that bearish candle. Close, but not in just yet. DJ rejecting. All good. Just didn't close strong. Well, where I want it to close, just a little bit higher up would have been better, in my opinion.
Hey, good morning, man.
Good morning, mate. How are you?
Oh, I'm a little bit tired this morning.
Yeah. Restless night or late night?
Yeah, I don't know, five and a half hour sleeping was not too much for me.
No,
So,
no, same for me. You get a bit older, you appreciate it a bit more, don't you? Sleeping.
a little bit more, yeah.
That's it.
But so far, okay. I did some sport this morning. Then
Yep.
getting
Nice
up
one.
earlier, so. But I noticed I need some breakfast right now, and
Yep.
maybe it'll be better then.
Probably need to focus, refuel for sure.
Correct, yeah. But I was a little bit focusing on the charts right now, and
Yep.
don't miss anything. So this, and therefore I didn't make
Waiting.
a breakfast. Yeah,
Fair enough. I like gold. I like this. The fact that it's pulling back now. Again, would really love for it to tap into that zone, to be honest. It'd be fantastic if it did.
so absolutely bullish on gold.
Yep.
So overall, so I think, yeah, I'm looking also for buys there.
Yep. I love this pullback. This is really healthy, especially if it taps in and then bounces off it. So yeah, so we'll see.
So GGS, I don't know, was also looking good, but for me, this engulfing candle on the M30 was not that much.
Yeah, it's engulf the body. I just want it a little bit higher up.
It was not that strong, and now I recognize, yeah, it's unsecure. So it's breaking the daily high, but it's, I don't know, hovering around that right
How
now.
far did it push above that previous candle? Yeah, about 10. But either way, it's at resistance, so fantastic. Gold's tapped in. This is exactly what we want to see. exactly what we want to see now, guys. As long as it closes weak bearish, I'm going to keep it in. If it starts to close back below into the zone, then I'm going to maybe have to remove the order and wait again. But this is fine. In the next 3 minutes, this is completely fine at the moment. Because if we do reject this zone, then we just tap back into it. Again, this just suggests we've grabbed that little bit, maybe a little bit more liquidity from a liquidity zone in order for us to make the move if we break our own high yet again. Minute forming some structure as well, so obviously now closed above and retested. Let's see how this 15-minute closes. I want it to continue above that zone. Interesting to see the limit order would have worked for 10, but it really wasn't a strong enough closure. I couldn't close 3 pips above. GJ attempting again. Still have not had 1 minute counter close above. Alright, looks like we're still valid on gold. 15 is closing shortly, and we're still above that zone, so this will be the case. I'm going to keep the order in. Yep, that's fine. GJ's playing games, isn't it, right now? Got no lower wick on the new M15, and it's breaking. Yeah, it's against my rules to take that either way. Got no lower wick, so not an entry for me. But anyway, focus is gold for the time being. Yeah, I don't even have a valid entry in a 5 minute on GJ. Just having a quick look on my MetaTrader. So well done if anyone is in GJ. A bit of a bumpy ride, but looks like it's making a move. Let's see for those wanting on gold.
I think we need to prepare.
Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like the volume's starting to come back in. We're tapped inside that zone. We're bouncing off it. So I still like this. I think it looks good. Now that candle kind of resembles what we've tested out a bit in the sim sessions on the weekend. Where it's closed weak bearish, but with a long upper wick and then lower wick. Tends to work quite well, so we'll see if it gets triggered in. Nice, and this 5-minute close is strong. This, to me, I've got the feeling it's gonna be one of those ones where it could really just pop straight up. Could be wrong, definitely could be wrong. But the fact that it's been hopping around here for quite a while, around that previous resistance, and it's still above it, to me, the feeling it could be one of those ones. Nice strong closure on the 15, on the 5, sorry. This is looking pretty good. Welcome more into you. Maybe just in time. Get involved in gold. Looking at potential gold buys. Oz. You have not in yet, but you mentioned you were in. No, I'm not in a trade. I never said I'm in a trade. Not in. It says it here, not in. I'm not in yet. It's clearly not broken that level that I've got. 26.45.75. Apologies if you thought I said I'm in a trade, but I'm not. GJ, yeah, I mean, look at it now. Oh, you like it? Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Is it going to be triggered in? And is it going to happen shortly in this M30? In this hourly, pre-London? I want it to happen pretty soon. May have to cut it off at around 2 minutes left, just in case, because it's likely that the hourly, the M30 is going to leave an upper wick. And that used to be the case. It's probably best just to wait for the potential limit order if it closed engulfing. So we'll see. We get triggered in shortly. Still not in. Like I mentioned, this just got the hallmarks of one of those ones that ops, in my opinion. Could be completely wrong. Be a tag and drag, we don't know. Tag and drag's not what we want. Let's see what happens. JJ buys to be outbreaking. Oh, did it come back again? It's a tricky one because it looks threatening the whole time, but it just keeps pulling back. Yeah, these pullbacks are nasty. It's got a fair bit of volume again. I mean, JJ still looks good at London Open for a continuation buy. If this is to be the highest point. Also, potentially, so for a limit order buy on GJ where you want it to close, or as per my rules, I would go with the strength, with the volume right now. I would say I would want at least 6 pips above the high of that candle, so around, what's the high of that candle? 243, so around, I'd round it off to around 300 flat. If this candle closed above that point there, potential limit orders. Limit order would be back at the high of that resistance for anyone interested. All right, want to get triggered in quick, smart. Otherwise, could be waiting for the candle to close. Let's quickly look at it now on the hourly. Hourly, we want it to close above. Keeping in for the time being. So those are considering a limit order on GJ, you're looking about 243. There's your potential entry, so long as this candle closes at least 6 pips above. Or above that 30 level on GJ. Above 193.30. Then think I'm gonna wait for the open. Had a small buy position from the support. Closed out with a small profit. Okay, nice one. Yeah, I'm also about to wait for the open, guys, at this point. It does, as long as it continues to remain above this level. I do have the feeling. Concerned by the hourly. I'm going to remove it. I'm going to set it for the same spot with using magic keys, have it ready without actually setting it. I'll click open on the new candle as soon as it creates a tiny lower wick. Just don't want to get caught out in the candle leaving an upper wick on the 30 and hourly. So I've just removed it and I'm getting it ready yet again without actually setting it. So still the exact same level, 275, 26.45.75. Want to see this hourly close above. DJ playing games yet again, pulling back. Are we just grabbing liquidity? Broken the Asian session highs, or that was the Asian session highs? If this closed back below, it's not going to do it in the next minute and 45 seconds, but if it did, it would be the worst option to sell it. All right, guys, so again, focused on gold. And at the open, I want to see a bit of a low wick. Oh God, GJ.
Yeah, also GU is coming down and EU. And
yep, GU is a bit
both are
tricky.
doing the opposite, so that's good. I think maybe we will see a strength in gold.
Yeah, potentially. So I'm focused on gold, guys. I can't keep flicking, otherwise I might miss a move. GJ is making the move to the downside just now. Either way, likely not going to have the margin to sell it.
So Justin, now we need this lower wick.
A little bit of a lower wick. Don't need a big one because I've already tapped into that zone. I just want some sort of lower wick. Let's get ready, guys. 2, 6, 4, 5, 7, 5 is where we're looking to potentially enter. Want a lower wick. Here we go. What it's like being a trader when you're waiting patiently. Popped up, all right, need a lower wick. And then the entry is going to be just a bit above the current candle's high. So looking about 15. 4, 6, 15. Wanted to create a low wick. It doesn't yet have one on my broker.
Me too.
Actually, no, it doesn't because that's gapped. It hasn't gapped on mine. If I see a low wick on my broker, I'm going to look to take an entry. 15 is the entry.
It broke off the of its own high, right?
Yep. All right, it's flip bearish on my broker. I'm satisfied. Yep, it's definitely flip bearish. I have set the order. Now stop loss. I'm gonna move it up a little bit. Got it a little bit below previous M30 low. Alright, so looking good. GJ, wow. That was just a liquidity grab. Mentioned it before on stream. Often we see that happen. We'll pull up towards the open, break the Asian session high or low, and then reverse this. Amount of times that happens. It's just, what's the confirmation? GJ, there wasn't really much of one. So once again, the importance of waiting for that little box to be ticked, of having candle having wick in the opposite direction to where you want to enter the trade. Had you have just taken it upon the impulse, you'd be now stuck in a bit of drawdown. If you were to wait for it to break zone high again, in my opinion, it's more probable. Again, no one has a crystal ball, so it's not foolproof. It doesn't mean you're gonna definitely win. But I know it's a high probability that it will be a nice trade. How about the rest of you guys? Anyone currently running any positions at London Open? Let me know. If anyone was in GBPJPY, does anyone own up to it? Let us know. How for you, Franco? Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm typing something in the chat, so
appreciate it.
So if it breaks right now, I think it's still valid.
Yeah, it's fine. If it taps in sort of support again.
Yeah.
Now just look at the hourly, and the hourly could be making that bit of a pullback. If it breaks on high, it's still definitely valid. Still looks good in my opinion.
Yeah, if it's breaking the lows and then coming back up and breaking its own high, it's still valid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just don't want it to close like this. Marvy would have taken GJ, but there was no wick. Yeah, that was the issue. Carlo, if it was in GJ, stopped out at -5 pips. Well, it's well managed considering the way it rejected. Wherever you go, took the first impulse of GJ and got about 10 pips, but only secured 5 before stop. Still better than obviously again with the volume and that pullback. Yeah. You did alright to get out with a small win. That was a vicious pullback. See, tapping in yet again, so the hourly's tapped in. Link traffic to the left. It's still fine, but if this 15 closes as is, once again, I may need to consider removing the order. Wow. Griff, good morning to you, mate.
Wow. Did you see EU?
Wow.
Wow. So they're coming down also.
Yeah,
EU,
majors are melting at the moment.
something is happening.
Essentially, but gold's still remaining above that resistance, so gold's still fine. Gold's still okay in my eyes.
Absolutely, and I think if I look, GJ and GU are in correlation at the end.
At the moment, yeah.
Yeah, which normally was not in the past 2 weeks or something else.
Yep.
So again, this means for me, maybe the peoples are going into gold.
Yep, potentially. Looking good. Broken low of the previous candle, we'll tap back into that zone, so that suggests to me that perhaps we'll grab some more liquidity from the downside. Broke around high again. There's a good chance it will give us enough to get to TP1. I think gold's looking good. All good, Sharif. All good, mate. Hope all is well with you. So almost 10 minutes into London Open, and we remain above that resistance. We keep pulling back to it. Once again, good if we begin to flip and break our own high. We traffic to the left as well.
I think when it's come a push, then it will be hard.
Yeah, it could be. It's one of those ones that will not surprise me if it just pops. But we'll see. I don't want to close on the 15 a really strong candle like so. Pulling back further. Alright, we need this to begin to flip soon. I don't want it to close within this grey zone. Close this bearish engulfing, then I'm simply gonna have to remove the order and wait. Joe, good day to you. Gold playing games. Yeah, at the moment, not worried though either way. Not in a trade, so wait and see what happens. As candles print, we reassess. Yeah, so Still gonna wait for the account to close, but likely at this point I'm gonna have to remove the order. And either way, you have to adjust the stop loss. Yeah, all right. Looks like it's not going to present just now. May need to wait for a little bit more data. Again, just goes to show the importance of waiting patiently for everything to tick the box. Had no lower wick, look at it now. You had your stop loss. If you took it without the confirmation of lower wick and you had your stop loss back below the previous 30, you'd be stopped out. So not only does patience reward in ways of, you know, you're on a high end of a high probability entry, it can also save you from taking an inerrant entry as well. So just goes to show the importance. Being rule-based, boring. It can be boring as hell, but still feel comfortable, you feel confident. You know, there's a good chance it's going to be on the end of a good trade if you just wait for it to tick the box. Not stress it enough. Alright guys, I'm going to remove the order. It's going to close back below. I have to wait again. Quite simple. DJ, it's a 15-minute, forget it. Stop loss is huge, forget it. It's just one of those ones. It's hard to get into the upside. Probably would have been taken out break even, most people, if they did take it, if anything. And to the downside, no lower wick, it's very impulsive. But look at this sell-off. This is crazy right now. Is there anything being any news breaking? By the looks of it, maybe just the sell-off. All right, so the 15's close strong bearish or broken low of that candle. I need to wait now for this candle and see where we're at. Will we get sells? We'll see. We'll see. In the meantime, guys, stick around. I'll be back in one moment. All right, ladies and gents. We look out for the sells. Gonna not look great against the alley, although we do have this candle would suggest we grab some more liquidity. Maybe we'll just grab liquidity in general from the previous candle as well, from the upside, the range above. And if we break the low of that previous candle, there's a good chance it will make a little bit more of a pullback. 30 still, in my opinion, looks better below the resistance. What you do have is a liquidity candle potentially closing golfing. 15 is currently at a bit of a support within the zone. I think it could be a little bit early for the sells. I would love for it to pop down, bounce off, reject, back below 26.40, 42 roughly. Sure, if I'm doing a school run in a row. School runs aren't great at all in general. Let's watch GJ as well. See, it's, I mean, technically that's the last two consecutive candle pullback in the opposite direction, so you could say it's still bullish in the 30. You pull back on a daily. 4 hours, a high, lower, low. Looking at the 15, that closed weak bullish after tapping back into this level. That'd be a potential entry point. Great educational session yesterday. Yeah, it was a good one. I enjoyed it. And to be honest, it was just pretty much off the top. I didn't prepare anything. Honestly, I didn't prepare anything. Sometimes it's the best way when you just wing it. Okay, flipping. Look where it's tapped into. Literally, I love that bullish candle, and so far it's rejecting. The issue is, where do you place the stop loss? We're just waiting at the moment. We'll see what happens here on gold. GJ's create a lower low. So the margin now is there. About 14.5, 15 pips once you count the spread. See what the candle closes. Let's see on gold. It tapped in towards the obviously 15-minute support and trying to push back up a bit. So see where the candle closes. Want this candle to close above a weak bearish M30, and then I would still trust the buys. It definitely has to close above this resistance first of all. What that would suggest is long wick to downside, but we remain above that resistance. Once again, a little bit below wick in the new M30. If it began to break the high of the previous, which is the current, I could execute a buy based off that. It would be a valid entry, but still needs to close above. Not valid just yet. GJ, like I mentioned before, you want a very weak closure on the 15-minute, and then that would be a stop loss. Sell stop below potentially. It's already made such a move though. That's the issue. You're getting in after it 130 pips within 45 minutes of data. That would be once this candle's closed. Make what you will of that. I probably prefer to focus on gold. It doesn't mean it can't push another 10, 15, 20 pips. Of course it can. Comfortable to enter? Not a problem. But we'll see. There are your potential options. I'm going to focus on gold for the time being, but it's still not yet valid. To be looking at the exact same entry point as before, potentially. Because I think 15, if I'm not mistaken, 26.46.15. Simple rule, has to close above this zone. 730 can close bearish, but has to close above the zone. Alright, so it looks like it's going to close within the zone, not below it. It's closing bearish engulfing. Don't really have enough of a catalyst. I'd rather it below. So if it did form another support and start pop below it, fantastic. G-CAD is valid at the moment. So you need an upper wick, or I prefer an upper wick. And if you can't break below, you're looking at entry just below low. IC markets, you're looking a couple pips below, or a pip and a half or so below, so you're looking at around 192, 192.05. And that's your potential entry. If you are going to take it, the way to manage it is get triggered in. Bring your stop loss to just above the entry candle. So it's for those who are interested in it having pushed already 130 odd pips. UP in it. What I'd be doing is just adjusting stop loss a little bit. A.C.T, more into you, mate. So it's not looking great if anyone is in it. Yeah, and it's one of those ones, it's already pushed more than 130 pips, so it's just the only option there is, personally. Is anyone taking it?
Yes, I'm also in.
You're in it?
Yeah.
Alright.
Was looking good. So
Yeah, I hope if anyone took it, it's just a small entry because it's pushed a massive distance already. So if you are in it, looks like stop loss is about to be hit by the looks of it. How much profit did it have on the table? Not much. Yeah, so we've been hit. Well, again, it's after a massive push, so very difficult to get involved right right at the end of the move, to be honest. So that's, again, made sense as far as a catalyst, but I can see why it's still pulling back now. So unfortunately, if anyone took it. Gold. Still struggling gold. So actually, to be honest, I didn't even take it, to be honest, guys. But yeah, I did call it. I admit it, but I did not take it because I just struggled to trust it after such a big move. Yeah, let's just measure it. How far did it push? 130 pips. It's one of those ones, I don't know. I feel like needs to wait for it to set up again. As far as price action catalyst though, based off the 15, tapped in, rejected. There was some clean traffic to the left. Based off that, it made sense. It's just, yeah, after such a significant move, do you trust it? That's the only issue. Yeah. Apologies, guys, if anyone did take it. The thing, at some point, it's going to pull back a bit. So that's the only thing. It's really worth getting in after such a big drop. Should you hold yourself from 44 on gold? I'd be cautious of the level it's at. I'd be very cautious. It could bounce off it. It's tapping into the low of the zone to the left. Yeah, I'd definitely be very cautious of that. Still be keen on buys, to be honest. Going to be a cheeky gold buy based off an engulfing 15. Not good against the 30 though. Still think it's best above the high. If this closed bullish in a 15 like so, for me there's nothing just yet, but the sells will become valid on the next candle if it closed bearish engulfing back below. Close the 30-minute, long wick to upside back below. It's going to close the hourly engulfing back below that previous resistance. So that's the sell option. Otherwise, buyers still, in my opinion, is probably just still going to be back above the high at this rate. Unless this candle closes up near the high, followed by another weak pause candle, it's still going to close the 30-minute bullish candle. Then its new candle opens up, breaks the high of this M30. That could be your potential entry to take back up to the current daily high. There's JJ. Major still selling off at the moment. Or yeah, it's just not enough for me to take a buy right now. See on gold. Want it to be a closure above. If it rips, it rips. I don't have any confirmations coming from way too far back, even on the 50. Let's see how this hourly closes as well. If it closes weak bearish, once again, it's just a grab liquidity from the zone. Literally tapped into the low of it. Pretty much so. If it broke the high, there's a good chance we'll continue to the upside. So I'm waiting for the closure of this candle, the 30, the 15, the hourly, and see where we're at. Backstory, how to get into trading, KC. Got into trading 2017 through crypto, to be honest, started with crypto. Joined a group, paid a fortune, paid an absolute fortune for it. Learned basically the same shit as what you find on baby pips, to be honest. And through that, I discovered Forex and I started swing trading. They had a group in there that was group of swing traders. There was a mentor as well. And then I got fed up with and couldn't hack having trades open overnight and waking up and you go to bed, you're 30, 40, 50 pips up and you wake up back break even, or you back down 50 to pips or so. Just wasn't for me. Couldn't sleep at night when I get up, and just, yeah, it wasn't for me. So I come across scalping, did some research on that, and yeah, found it suits my my mentality, who I am. In fact, I can actually get the same sort of profit in sometimes minutes or seconds. Same time, you can also get wrecked in sometimes minutes or seconds. So that's pretty much it. I paid for a lot with my education. I've been involved in a couple groups. Last one, I ended up being a coach, mentor of the last year and a half, 2 years as well. Now I've decided to do my own thing. Into futures? Not really. Not really. Looked at it. I've looked at everything. I even looked at options for a bit, for like 5 minutes or so. Or for like a week. Radio? Nah, no, not spoken to him for about 6 months, 7 months. Beef? Oh, no, I got no hard feelings. I think he may, I'm not sure, but I've got no hard feelings whatsoever. Yeah, just haven't really spoken, that's it. So just wanted to do my own thing. Yeah. And the master of your own destiny. Probably felt I was just under a few shackles when I was with the old group, so best I venture out my own and do my own thing. Okay, so I think Train Gurus between 2017 and 2021 took us all for a ride. Maybe, I don't know about all, but I mean, there was some familiar names, some disappeared. But again, I never claimed to be a guru, and I'm not by any stretch of imagination, but I'm confident in what I do. Doesn't mean I never take a loss. I mean, I called a loss on GJ. Didn't personally like it. I called though, but I didn't take it. Yeah, I just stream because I'm confident in what I do. And I've taught a lot of guys to become much better traders through, you know, just having simple rules to follow and following through patience and discipline. That's the most important thing. Which is very hard to do as a trader. Mentioned to the guys, the VIP, I follow some guys, well, not follow actually, I don't follow any trades, but when Instagram suggests reels and that, a few popped up about traders, you know, who emphasize the discipline and patience, and I'm in total agreement. And some of them are saying exactly what I always say: the most part you're fighting against yourself, because you're just your own flaws and stupidity and emotions, and that's the reality of it. That's why I try to create some simple, clear-cut rules to follow, where it then try to be as robotic as you possibly can. So yes or a no for a trade. It's not, oh shit, I might miss out, but I'm just gonna take it. Not valid, you don't take it. Very simple. Once again, it's all took me months and months, took me over a year to complete the course, and the course is in the VIP as well. The VIP is a lot less than what I ever paid for any tuition. The goal, potentially breaking right now. Again, nothing I can do about it right now until this counter closes. I cannot jump in. Coming to the closure of the hourly as well. It's come from way too far back. I need to just patiently wait 5 more minutes. Last thing I want to do, and I could miss the move, I understand, but I'd rather miss it. Last thing I want to do is get triggered in, pulls back to leave the upper wick, new candle creates a slower wick, maybe go into 20-30 pip drawdown, not feeling comfortable, close it, and it goes. So I try to avoid that drawdown. For me to avoid it, be simply waiting for this candle to close. Never heard of him, mate. Never heard of him. I'm just gonna delete that message. Not. I know you didn't intentionally mean anything. Yeah, 100% discipline and patience. All right, so if you are looking at gold, I mean the entry now, first of all you gotta wait to see how this candle closes. All good, that's why I like to stream. Appreciate it, thank you. Alright, so we're just gonna have to focus where this candle closes. Now limit order could potentially be an option again. So the high of that bearish candle is, so we'll call it 26.46 flat. So therefore 26.46.80 minimum this candle has to close. Simple rule. Follow for the limit order to be valid. I'm not concerned by tapping back into this zone. We've tapped into it multiple times. More concerned by tapping into that. What now is a pause on a 30-minute. So for that to be valid, that's where we need to close. On continuation, doesn't have to close at that point there, but we need a lower wick, and we need this candle to leave an upper wick. So they're the options. Strong closure up near the high, or significantly engulfing up above 26.46.80. And now this is a trade I would definitely look to take. So we'll see. The issue is definitely going to be stop loss. Probably have to roll with 15-minute, and you're just going to have to go for wider stop loss, smaller lot size. That's why I'm probably going to look for. If it's a limit order, I would go below the low. Just in case it does pull back again to tap into that zone. So the limit order will be at, potentially, you're looking at, what's the low on IC markets? The high, sorry, 26.45.98. So 26.40, yeah, 45.98 to be exact, but it's, wow, pulling back, may not be valid. And buys above. Okay, so I was listening to a talk with Brian Shannon, S&B Capital, talking about an anchored VWAP. Have you ever looked into it? Very interesting. No, never. I don't use indicators often. This is a fair bit of volume right now. Don't know if the limit order is going to be valid. Buy above looks like it could be though. So the high, so you're looking at around 65, 26, 47, 65. Yes. Oh man. Alright, I want it to pull up a fair bit and then pull back, create small lower wick, and then break its own high again. Not a big fan of the closure, to be honest, that long wick. So this is fine. I wanted to tap into the high of that candle. Now, if this was at this zone, I'd be selling it right now. I would be selling it in anticipation it's going to create a lower wick. An easy 10, easy pips. It's not, it's broken above the zone though. It's not valid. This has to happen from around this point into the gray zone. That's liquidity. This is just clean traffic. What you often see is the volume. If you had, I'm not sure the indicator, I think it's a lazy bear indicator. What it'll indicate is where most of the volume is at is these areas of either consolidation or previous support resistance. When you have clean traffic, you don't really have the volume at that point. You just rely, at that point it's liquidity which will give you the push, and that's what creates these clean candles to the left like we've got here. So I still want the low wick. Doesn't look like I might do it, to be honest. GJ. New month and quarter could be a choppy day. It could most definitely. There we go. Looks like it's creating that low wick. Alright. So the hourly's now pulled back to create a bit of low wick. Wondering if there could be an early entry above the current candle's high. Contemplating an entry above the current candle's high, just a little bit below the previous. $26.47 flat. I haven't said it yet, but that's what I'm considering. I just want to see right now where we pull back to. I don't want the moment. Want to make the move. DJ respecting the support that it broke. Typical. Now, I'll set a very, very small position because it's a very wide stop loss. Way to manage it would be off the entry count if it does trigger in. So if we break our own high yet again, pulling back to this zone, once again, likely just grab some liquidity. And I would trust it off the back of the alley as well, that maybe this will be the time we make the move. So like I said, there'll be ways of managing it. We cut the stop loss at this point. This doesn't continue to pull back. You can just cut the stop loss by pretty much half as soon as you get triggered in. Unreal. JJ making a move.
Seems so that the major pairs make their move down.
Yeah, big time. Wow.
So it's, I think, a little bit hard right now to get in these pairs.
Yeah.
So, and also GG, I hold it a little bit longer, and then I close it at PE.
Okay, well done. In the end, get out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, tough one. I mean, eventually made the move.
Yeah, I have the impression at the end, and in gold, I don't know, gold is waiting.
It's, yeah. Would have wanted to be triggered in. So probably wait for the 15-minute closure and see from that. I'll stick around all day and enjoy some time for little man as well. So
I mean it's good that we created again support, here, and the support is created above the resistance, the former resistance on the M30. So normally, yeah, it should go up.
Yeah, there's a good chance it would have made a move by now, but it keeps falling back, so may not be ready just now. Maybe something for the next 4 hour, for instance.
Just another question about the news. So when I look to on Forex, they didn't have all the news which are read today. For example, if I look on financial news, I see the UK news there, which is not mentioned. So it's strange, huh?
Okay, yeah. Very strange.
And I think this news have influence to the Forex pair.
Yeah, PMI. It's got it as a yellow folder here.
It's a yellow folder. Ah, okay. Therefore, it doesn't pop up at my Forex factory, because I have only orange and red folders there.
Really struggling.
Yeah, and the others keep pushing down.
Yeah, the majors continue to drop.
GJs and also EU.
Wow. Oof. Look at it now. Crazy.
And I've heard that the A.C.T want to cut the rates.
Oh, again?
They want to announce it.
Okay. So
wow,
maybe it's giving the euro a little bit more of a push to the downside, because the euro is really high. Well,
I have no idea about this correlation. So when the euro cuts will be rates, so this is not good for the euro.
No.
Understood.
No, it generally is bad for currency strength when they do decide to cut rates. Maybe off the back of apparently the Fed coming out yesterday saying that they're not in such a hurry to continue to cut. Maybe also with a little bit more volume coming in with the London session, it's been filtered in a little bit, perhaps. So, alright, 15's about to close. It looks like it's closing quite strong bearish. This rate. Wait for the closure and we'll see. Yeah, but it looks of it's going to close quite strong bearish. So what I would need to do in this case is, once again, remove the order. Wait for another 15 minutes to see where the candle closes. But to be honest, guys, I'm going to get going because I want to spend some time playing Little Man while I can. So just for those who have just tuned in, I won't be on stream for a few weeks. Yeah, so if you're not following me on IG, make sure to do so. You get updates. I might do some vlogs or something, or maybe lives, I don't know, on IG. I have no idea. I'll see how I go. But yeah, so just keep an eye on that. Please don't forget me. Keep an eye out, and I'll let you guys know I'll be back towards the mid part of October. At the moment, I think towards the third week, maybe mid to late October. But nonetheless, I do appreciate all the support. I'll still be looking at goals above the highs, but you just need to wait for a strong confirmation. So maybe a 15-minute closure back up near the high would be great. DJ, pull back. It's too overextended right now. I wouldn't want to be chasing it. I'd just wait for a pullback. Yeah, so thank you, Carl.
So you will then not available for the whip tomorrow, or when you will be
not sure. Tomorrow might be for NY, maybe. Not sure. I'll keep you guys posted. I'll keep you guys posted about later about NY. So I'll see what goes on now for the Little Man.
Enjoy your time with your son.
Thank you, mate. Take care.
Yeah, bye.
Cheers, mate. To the rest of you on YouTube, you guys trade safe. Don't do anything stupid. Feel free to send me a message. I always reply to every message. I appreciate all the support. Guys, legends, thank you for joining. I'll catch you guys once again soon. Cheers. Take care. Bye. Trade safe.